Hey, 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 everybody. It's your girl, Miss Laganja Estranja, and
Joseph Shepard.
And we're here with another episode of Queening Out. It's so good to be back and feeling like myself.
I feel like you look like yourself. You feel
Thank
the vibrance is there.
Yes. I felt like if anyone could make a faja fierce, it was me. So that's what I'm wearing. For those who don't know, this is a faja. This is a compression garment. This is a garment that most trans people complain about. Well, actually, any person who has a BBL complains about wearing. Mm-hmm. But I will be honest, I love it. I feel sexy. I feel very Matrix. I feel very snatched in. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to wear no outfit. We're going to let the girls out for their first go round. We just got into a bra, like literally 2 days ago. Was my first time in a bra. And I literally called my mother and sister and was like, I understand now why you guys hate bras. They're really uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Like squeezing the boobs together is not fun. And I'm not even wearing like an underwire. Yeah. This is like a t-shirt bra. But yeah, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to be out. I'm going to be open. I'm going to be free. I saw that last episode of us and I was just like, oh, poor thing. I was trying.
I loved how everybody was like,
really
you're an equestrian.
I know. I was like, that's really what we're getting from this?
You're an equestrian.
But yeah, girl, I could tell I hadn't fully clicked into myself, but now I'm back. I feel good. Everything is going good. And I'm just excited to get more of my real life resumed. I'm still taking it easy. Don't worry, for everyone out there that's like, you're rushing. I'm not. But, having a chat with you for an hour, I brought my special pillows. It's like you coming over to my house. I just had to travel 5 minutes. So this is good. I felt comfortable.
Got your special pillow.
I got my special pillows. I had my banana, my protein bar, my bone broth, my Pedialyte. So we're doing good.
Do you like Pedialyte?
I do.
Okay, wait. I have a question. So when you drink Pedialyte, are you supposed to mix it with water or do you just drink it pure?
I've never heard of that.
I think it's
also, is this Pedialyte?
No, that's electrolyte.
This is electrolyte, honey. Electrolyte.
Girl, that's the better version.
It's great. I love it. And it's great formula or great flavored. And so, yeah, I mean, it tastes like medicine, but I like it.
The Pedialyte is what gets me because I feel like it's so thick and like...
But that's what I grew up drinking in college for hangovers. It cures hangovers. But no hangovers here, mama. And in fact, I don't know if you saw this on Instagram.
It was 100 and what?
What?
Days?
Sober? Of what? Oh, no, I'm 167 days sober or something. Okay. Almost 6 months. But now the real gag is I'm sober from cannabis. Can you believe it? The Queen of Green. Not consuming cannabis right now. Girl. Did we talk about this on the last time?
I just know that you had your freak out before and then you had,
So I got too high. I had the freak out. Oh, also I saw in all your comments, the H word is hurt and the P word is pain. Now we can say them since I've fully moved past that and I'm literally down to like maybe an ibuprofen a day. It's amazing. Like I really am like, wow. But yeah, so we weren't saying those words because I didn't want to speak them into existence. I know everyone was like, what is she talking about?
I commented on somebody's and I was like, I like said what it was.
Yeah, cleared the air. Those are the words I was scared to say. But now that we've moved on, not scared to say them. And it's been a very rewarding process to really be 100% sober. I don't think I've ever been 100% sober in any of my adulthood life. So I feel great and I'm eating clean. I'm taking care of myself. I'm doing light yoga now. So I just feel me and my spirit and everything like coming back and aligning. And it's a beautiful, empowering feeling.
I do want to know, you said lymphatic massages.
Yep, I had one yesterday.
How was it? How are they? Are they painful?
In the beginning, it definitely was a bit intense. Remember, I wasn't using that word you just said, but now, no, it feels really good. And I was like leaning into her yesterday and she was like, Mary. And I was like, well, she didn't say Mary, but I was like leaning into her and I was like, I want you to push harder. And she's like, okay, I just didn't want to like go too hard for you. But I was like, no, it feels good. Like break up that whatever it is. It's something from the lipo. Like you get what I describe as like a second skin. So it's like you can feel it, but it's numb. So it's almost like a second skin. Yeah. So basically she's going in there and breaking all that up because that's like liquid that's getting hard or I don't know.
Yeah, I think of it this way. It's kind of like...
I can't wait for this.
It's kind of... It's kind of like you are preventing cellulite. It's like,
well, I got a treatment for that as well. We did. We went ahead and got rid of my cellulite on my ass. That was a separate procedure. So we did do that.
But like the way that like cellulite is, it's like a different type of thing on top of like a muscle or whatever. So that's the way I look at the when they're
lipoing. Yeah. No, for the cellulite, it's a similar vibration, but they go in and they cut something. Because I guess there's like a thing that's creating the tension, which is what creates the dimple. Mm-hmm. So they went in there and they cut all that. Oh, bitch, my body looks sickening. I'm going to have to show you without all this on, but girl. And this is just like 2 weeks out. So it's about to be hateful for all you hoes.
Yes.
I'm about to let y'all have it.
Have it. Officially.
Okay, enough about me. How are you? What's going on? I pre-asked you before cameras went up and you rolled your eyes. So I am assuming you've got tea for the doll.
Well, let's start with the good first.
Okay.
Let's go there.
Really? I like to start with negative so that it ends on a good note.
Okay, let's start on the negative.
Let's start with negative.
Like I said, the past few weeks were very, trying for me and a lot of different things doing. And we had people at my work quit, and we had people that then my boss fired people on top of people quitting. So I've been doing the job of like 90 million people.
Well, you're used to that.
Yes, exactly. So
that's what we specialize in.
The past 2 weeks have been extremely difficult and extremely hard.
I'm sorry.
And I haven't got a lot of sleep. I haven't paid attention to really anything. So the past 2 weeks, I will say I did not give my mom a phone call. Aww. And I know that is something big for her, but I was so in my head and trying not to drown that I literally was like throwing everything out the window.
I understand.
So I called her this past weekend and she didn't answer the phone. And then Sunday she called me and she just sounded extremely sad. But go to figure out, I think that she may have been on something. I don't know if it was, if she had a few drinks. I don't know if she was on, her meds because she is epileptic. I don't know what it was, but it became a conversation of basically making me feel guilty for everything. Not just guilty for not calling her for a week or two.
Right.
Making me feel guilty about being born. She went on a whole rant about how
and we're talking about this on camera, so this is like for real.
Yeah, this is for real. I don't I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, I think saying things just help people, and it's like, why not? And
I do too.
She may see it,
but that's pretty serious, Joseph.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was going to take that quite a dark
I think
turn.
That's why it was such a big deal. Like
I think this was because of the substances potentially that she was doing this.
I think it was a combo.
Okay, so you think there was true feelings that were being released?
Oh, there were true feelings. I know there were. My brother and her do not get along properly because my mom loves throwing politics in phone calls, but she won't ask you how you're doing. She will be like, oh my gosh, there's this going on, or there's this going on in the world. How do you feel about that? And my brother's like, can you just ask me how I'm doing? Ask me how my work's going. Ask me how my girlfriend's doing. Like, you're not asking any of these questions. You don't know me.
Right.
And
maybe that's why she's surface level questioning you all.
Yeah. After it, I cried for 2 hours. I don't cry.
I know. I don't think I've ever seen you cry.
Yeah. Isaac was like, oh my gosh. He was like, he had plans to go to his family's and he stopped his plans. He was like, I'm staying with you.
Good. I'm glad he did that.
And then I thought it was over. 6 hours later, she calls me. And I think in my head, I need to answer the phone now because World War III is going to happen if I don't.
Right.
And you want to know what the first thing she says? It's not, hi, how are you doing? How's everything going? She goes, I would like to tell you why I'm voting against abortion. And I said, okay, whatever you need. So
you entertained that. I'm shocked, especially after having the previous conversation. I would have been like, no, we already talked today. I've had enough.
Yeah, I just knew in my head that if I didn't do it, it would become something else because she was crying the whole first time she called me. So I was like, okay. And then I was, hearing whatever she was saying out. And I go, I understand. Like, you were a nurse. You saw babies die. I get this. I get it. And I said, but the thing is like, what if, you have these, you're going to states levels and some people can't get abortions if they need an abortion for medical reasons. And I said, and that's kind of sad. Like, if somebody were to die or something were to happen. And I go, and then like for rape and stuff, I think that's sad. And I go, Mom, to be honest with you, I was raped at 22. And I said, and if I had to carry on the person who raised me baby, I said, no, that would not be okay.
No.
And she goes, I'm sure they would turn out to be a wonderful human being. And I was like, oh my God. Then I was like, breathe. I was like taking it in. I was like, okay. And then she goes, you don't understand the hell that I had to put up with when I had you. And she was like, that should be enough for you to like think. And I was like, I'm done with this conversation. I hung up the phone and I was like, done. So that was kind of how my week started on Sunday. So it wasn't like the best thing.
That is a lot to unpack in there.
Yeah. And I think that for
you have a therapist, right?
I do have a therapist.
Oh, thank God. That's a lot to unpack.
I think for the longest time too, I never considered these things trauma.
Oh no, they are.
I started talking to like my brother about it, and then we were just like throwing stories this past weekend about things.
Right.
And we both were like, no, we have
this is not right. Right. Like, no, our parents should not be saying these things to us.
No.
Well, I'm sorry that happened. Yeah. I hope you will find much success in your therapy going through all of that. Because, that is a lot to unpack. I mean, hearing your own mother say, basically, it was hell to raise you. It's like, okay, and what? Like, that's my fault?
Yeah, it's my fault.
I was a child. Yeah. There's nothing you could have done in that situation to make it less hell on her. Yeah. You were a child. Yeah. Which I know you know all of that, but I just want to reiterate that to you.
Yeah, I do. I know
that was her trauma dumping on you.
Yeah, it was her trauma dumping and her own issues and her own problems. And then she even asked me on that phone call, she goes, I hope I didn't upset you in the earlier phone call. And I go, well, you actually did. And she goes, I did? How did I upset you? And I knew in that moment, I was like, I can't answer this question because this is going to turn into something else. So it's all a maneuver and it's all a game I feel like I'm playing. Yeah. And I think for the first time for 10, 15 years, like I think I'm realizing that like the vision that I had of my parents or the vision that I had of certain people in my life is not the same vision I had when I was a kid. Yeah. And sometimes I need to stop chalking it up to, they're going to change, because I've said that ever since I was 17, 18 years old, and I'm now 33. And I think the hope that I have and me trying to always be overly nice is actually hurting me more than it's helping me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Well, I hope you have sage. I think I need you to sage the room, sage the area.
Do it all.
Get the cleanse going on. Because, if there's anything I've learned, too, over these last 2 weeks, it's like the energy we allow into our circle is very important. Mm-hmm. And I think for me, I have a lot of friends who are very energetic. Scorpios, Capricorns, those are the two signs I'm very attracted to. And during this time, I've really realized, like, my life is crazy enough as it is. And sometimes I just need calm. Mm-hmm. Calm, simple energy, which I feel like you have with your partner.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know that there's, of course, been chaos there as well with any relationship, but I feel like Isaac definitely has like a calming vibe with you. Even just seeing when we went to that one party and you were overstimulated and seeing how he just sort of like let you go. And so tap into that. Yeah. Tap into that, especially after going through something that's so intense, and also like, don't be afraid to cry. I think that's I'm saying this to you, but I'm saying it to me. Like, I kept my shit together through this whole process. There was like 3 times my sister said that were like moments, but when she left, I mean, I just sobbed. I sobbed, like I really had to let it all out. And it did. It made me feel better the next day. Yeah. While it was happening, not so much. Yeah. But the next day I was like, okay, good. I'm glad I like released that energy. So I hope you did that for yourself, because seriously, that's just not just like a normal annoying mom talk. Like that's like a very intense, very, traumatic. Yeah. So.
Well.
So on that note, should we talk about the show that we talk about on our podcast? I love that some people were like, can you please put the timestamp where you start talking about Drag Race? I'm like, you must be new here.
Yeah,
I feel like the real people who watch us are like, we'll talk about Drag Race, but we're actually here for the two of you. So
before we get into the break in the show, we premiered 2 Brain Cells Left last week.
Congratulations. I saw it all over my For You page.
Yes, it was great. It was wonderful. Today's episode, which will be out by the time this comes out, is with Mistress in Malaysia. Oh, and it
trouble.
is a hoot.
Double trouble.
And that's chugging along. That's been great. I know last week I was like a dead cow, but like I'm feeling
actually better. Last week you were thighs, baby.
The kids.
Well, did you not look?
I did.
Mama, the angle was correct. Dennis had set you up for success. Because you look at the ankle right now, honey. That is giving thighs. Thighs for days. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. They were like, the shorts keep getting shorter. I was like, good for him.
And then I am very excited because I did figure out my Halloween costume for Delta that I'm shooting tomorrow, but I'm not saying it.
Okay.
But it is a full look. It is a full everything. I have a makeup artist coming in and they are airbrushing me down. So
not giving plain Jane at the Emmys.
We are going full out.
Wow.
I said, you know what? There's only one time I'm going to be invited to Delta. I mean, there could be multiple. But
let's hope, right?
Yeah. But I was like, I want to go out with a bang. Like, I want it to be like, I think that so many people know what I do, but they don't know who I am as an individual or why certain things matter to me. And I think for the longest time, when I started all this and when I was interviewing drag queens, I was doing it because I loved it, but I would always be afraid to show my personality, or I would be afraid to do anything besides me asking a question to a queen, because if I did it and if I said, oh my gosh, you know, I totally relate to you in this, the comments would be, we don't care about you. Or we don't
you're not a drag queen.
You're not a drag queen. Shut up, blah, blah, blah. So I got to the point where for the longest time where I was just so in my head and I was like, I probably became a shell of my person, like myself.
Yeah, they say
like,
drag is for everyone. Ugh,
yeah.
Girl, the mixed messaging.
I mean, that one time when I said I thought it would be a nice 5th place on Drag Race to Bob the Drag Queen, which was a joke and everybody thought it was serious, and I got ate up.
Well, everyone's already asking me too, like, what are you doing for Halloween? I'm like, bitch, I just got out of surgery. I am not thinking about no Halloween costume. And honestly, I do have to say this. I watched I'm Okay, You're Not Okay, We're All Okay. Girl, why did you not like that video?
I said that I liked it.
But you thought it was too much.
No.
Or styling you didn't like.
I said the color grading in the middle of that video was too dark.
To the gays. They always have some remark about it. I love the video. I thought it was iconic. And I think, the little purple bra with the little Britney skirt. The little lacy, I just want to wear that for Halloween and be like, I'm Tate McRae.
I think you should.
And a brown, I don't even think I'm going to do a brown wig. I think it's time. Let me know in the comments, y'all. Is it time for me to go auburn? I feel like it's time to leave the red behind. We've been red for a year. And I feel like when I do the big body reveal, I need just natural, beautiful brown hair with a little honey highlight.
I like that.
Yeah.
Do you remember
and extensions?
I feel like you're like on an episode of The Swan, but you've seen yourself.
Oh my God, you're hilarious.
Do you remember that?
Yes, of course I remember it. And I watched the documentary. Have you seen that?
No, there's a documentary on The Swan.
Each episode is a different reality show, but there is one about the contestants on Swan and how horrible it was.
So for those who don't know, The Swan was a reality show on Fox, I believe in 2001.
Had to have been Fox.
And it was a competition where basically like a beauty pageant.
With surgeries.
Yes. And it was these girls that came in and the doctors would basically do whatever they wanted to them, give them
But they were like moving them around and doing all this like producing that was so unhealthy for them. Meanwhile, I'm over here producing a documentary while I'm doing all this. So,
well,
if you can't beat them, join them. We'll be right back with RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars Global.
Alyssa AdWords edition.
They were like, do y'all even watch the show? We do. And we'll be right back with our thoughts and opinions. And we're back with more Queening Out. And we are ready to speak about Mother's Rules Global All-Stars.
Mother's Rules?
Mother's Rules Global All-Stars.
Okay, before we talk about Global, I need to address a few things in the room.
Okay.
One thing, I apologize so sincerely for saying Gallo Vero's name incorrectly.
It's Gala, not Gallo.
Did I say it wrong again?
I don't know.
The issue that I have, and I'm being perfectly honest with you all, is that a lot of you all comment how I should pronounce things, and I take it into heart, and then I get here, and then the camera rolls, and then I'm like, oh crap, wait, which one was it? Was it Gallo or Gallo? Which one is it? It's not the gallows. Like, you know how like you get your head chopped? It's not that.
It's like the galas, like what you go to?
Galavera. Watch me say that and I'll be wrong again. I'm pretty sure it's Galavera. So that's one.
Okay.
Two, I watched the premiere of Drag Race España season 4. Laganja.
It's good?
It is good. When I say good, some of the decisions that they made, I think need to be put on Drag Race. The way that it felt fresh and new. Okay, so one, the first episode is a ball.
Okay.
They had to design, but what they were designing was redoing their first look.
Oh, that's fun.
So that was cool. But the cooler part about it was that when they did like the walkthrough, like how Rue does, like, oh, show me what you're doing or whatever. They brought in the main host and every single judge, like the main judging panel.
Interesting.
So it was the main host and then the 3 other judges. And each girl came, showed a picture of them the first time in drag, talked about it a little bit, and then showed the garment that they were going to make. So it kind of like allowed the judges to hear a story about the girls.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness. Then they introduced, a twist. And you know how they have like the king's cake in Louisiana and stuff, like where you find the baby in the cake?
Oh, yeah.
So they're doing the queen's cake.
Okay.
So each girl got a slice of cake, and one of it has like a drag race doll or whatever in it. And you don't know who has it, but at any time during the competition, if they are in the bottom, they have 10 seconds from when the lip sync song starts to either use it on somebody else or use it on themselves. And they can use that up until the finale. So they can switch. So you could be like, oh my gosh, I'm in the bottom two. And then you don't want to do it. So you pull out whatever the baby, and then whoever was the third person has to switch them in.
Interesting. Okay. I like it. Adding layers.
Yes. The critiques were off the chain.
Okay.
Very in-depth critiques of each girl, whether it was...
So you have to read, right?
You do have to read, yes.
Yeah.
So whether it was them saying, we really, didn't like this about you, but the thing is you have X and you need to concentrate. It was just...
You thought it was
felt
more
like a
critical.
family. Yeah. And every girl was great and their personalities were great. And I was just like, this feels a refreshing vibe. And I feel like maybe Drag Race needs to do that in some aspects of like just some reviving, just a little like
revamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, I love that.
So, speaking of Drag Race España, two guest judges this week were Javier Ambrosi and Javier Calvo. Ooh.
They're cute. Yeah. But it is also giving me like, when gay guys date themselves. Uh-huh. It was giving me a little bit of that.
I can see it.
It was. They're both brunette. They have the same name, same build. I was like, oh, why do gay guys do this?
One is tall and one's small.
And one's a bottom and one's a top. But it just, I don't know.
Or are they?
That's what they were saying.
Oh, I thought they were saying they're both.
Oh, I thought they were giving very clearly he's the top and I'm the bottom. I thought. But they were cute, they were hot, and they definitely were the first two guest judges that I was like, okay, I like them. They have good personality. Mm-hmm. I thought they brought something. I actually really liked this episode.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty, compared to the past two that we've had, it was really good. It was the snatch game of love. The mini challenge was they had to get into quick drag and pose for a profile picture for Archer,
Loved it.
the dating app.
That was so funny.
Nalania's weird, crazy lady.
Terrifying.
It really was terrifying.
Terrifying. Alyssa Edwards had me dying. Oh, and just a note on that. Baby, I said it from episode 1, so let me make it loud and clear. I did not come here to critique my mama. I came here to champion her. So if that bothers you, please find yourself another podcast. I will not be talking bad about my mother. And there it is. Period. Even when we weren't friends, I didn't talk bad about her. So, and you're like, oh, we'll have critical. I have critical. I said I didn't love her blue and gold outfit. Mm-hmm. But honestly, this week when we started the episode, you could see more detail. Yes. There was like chains and I was like, okay, it's actually really not that bad. Yep. But did you see the drama that went online about all that?
Which one?
Oh, girl, J.Cho Lee had tweeted a thing about her talking about back rolls and y'all leave my sister alone. And the internet was up in arms about the look. Yeah. Katya had tweeted something about like, do we even say tweet now? Katya had X'd something. No, that sounds so weird. Yeah. She had tweeted something about like, anytime when Alyssa Edwards walks on stage, I scream, I'm absolutely living for all of her looks. And so then of course all the comments were like, what is Katya back on? And just like, they were going in on Miss Alyssa. I'm like, I will not be the one to go in on Miss Alyssa. Okay.
Speaking of going in on people, also people are mad. People think they have a vendetta against Queen Kong.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
I don't have a vendetta against Queen Kong.
I just don't like her.
No, I actually like Queen Kong. Queen Kong and I talk. Like, Queen Kong is great. The issues that I've had have been issues with outfits.
Yeah.
But go to figure out, which she said she lost 3 suitcases, so a lot of things make sense.
Oh God.
So I'm not going. I just don't like the look. I'm sorry.
Right. It's just the look, not the person.
It's not the person.
Yeah. Well, and gosh, the internet is really being fierce to her and Kitty. Kitty like lost followers and that's so crazy.
People just go insane.
Y'all don't take it out on the drag queen.
Yeah, the drag queens never deserve it.
Come on. That is crazy. That is 9 times out of 10 a man in a wig.
Yes.
Y'all leave those sissies alone. They go through enough. 9 times out of 10.
I was about to say, unless you're Maddie Morphosis, and I was like, oh, that is a man in a wig.
Still a man
Never
in a
mind.
wig.
Gala, Vera.
Good job.
They won the mini challenge and they got $2,500.
Yeah, they looked the best.
Prize.
They were so pretty.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know the whole point is to make Rue laugh, but I definitely think I would serve fish like woman. Yeah.
I will say this too. You know how we didn't really talk about it last week, but you know when they were on that airplane and they were like doing their makeup and it was like shaking?
That was horrible, but yes.
This is what I don't understand. If you do these challenges and I think that in the first few seasons, the mini challenges meant something.
Right.
Now it's like, you don't have to have the best makeup. And if
just
it looks
make Rue
really
laugh.
bad, you're just making Rue laugh. I think that there should be like an incentive.
I love this.
Because if they were like, hey, you know what, girls? Literally, this mini challenge is going to be worth $10,000, but your makeup needs to be as fierce as it can be. Then it's
as
funny.
We're doing this thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. It just felt silly.
Because then you're like, oh my gosh, am I just moving a little bit? Oh, I'm going to do a little.
Right. They
like,
were just acting into it. Yeah. I agree. I agree.
So let's go over our Snatch Game characters.
Okay. I love it.
Queen Kong was King Schlong.
Hilarious. So funny. Like, what a great idea. I didn't know that her execution was my favorite. I think she could have given more to the character, but I thought the idea was great.
Yeah. Galavera was Laura Leone.
Didn't know this person.
Soap opera actress or a telenovela actress, what they're saying. Kitty Scott Claus is Diana, Princess Diana. Nelania as Valentino. Pythia as Zeus.
Which turned out great.
This is why I was confused.
Although, come on now, that
She
was
already
pretty
had
close
that.
to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
You know, she just sort of changed the spin on it. But like the bodysuit was clearly going to be for Arnold. Yeah.
Then we had Tessa Testicle as Suzanne Barsh. Your Mother, Miss Alyssa Edwards as Annie Oakley. And Vanity Vane as, I guess, the Eurovision winner.
She was the other person. I didn't know who that was. But I didn't think she was that bad.
She wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
No. I don't like this format of Snatch Game.
I don't either. I miss the old version. I don't
like,
know why we need the love part. I don't get it. I
No.
don't get it. It's like, I get that they did it to switch it up for a while, but I'm with you.
now
Go
it's
back. Just go
old.
back.
Like, I want to see these girls interacting with each other. I want them
Right.
all on a panel.
Right.
Like, I don't like when, because also like you're competing for a bachelor. It just changes the whole purpose of Snatch Game.
Yeah, I agree.
So then you can just be like, ooh, sexy, sexy. Ooh.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. I'm with you.
and I also think that when you're in that setting of the regular Snatch Game, that's a lot more pressure too. I feel.
I do too. Absolutely. It is more pressure because there's more girls that have a chance to say something back to you. And like you said, it's not about appeasing one person and getting them to love you. It's just really, truly about making Rue laugh, which I think is the hard part.
Tell you what I don't understand about Snatch Game of Love. The purpose of the match game when the show was like, years ago or whatever, was that you didn't see the person or know who they are. So I would like to know why the Javis were sitting, like how they always do. And then they have the sugar wall, as Rue calls it, and the girls are on the other side. But then he introduces all of them. So then, like, what's the point? Like, so then...
Well, now you're being very like my mother. You're reading too much into it. You're thinking too hard about it, girl. It's not
But I would
be...
love, like, knowing that the person on the other side has no idea who these queens are. And
Well, they don't. They just know who the queens are being.
correct.
That's why I said I think you might be overthinking this a bit.
Well, let me know in the comments section.
Who else did you like in this? Did anyone else like stand out to you as like really good?
I thought Pythia did a great job at being Zeus, but also it's just
Felt a little story produced.
Very bro.
And it just felt a little story produced. It was like Rue gave her the critique. Now she switches. Wow, we're all amazed. I thought she was good. I do. But she was the best? Because she wins, right?
No,
I thought she won this. Oh, right. Kitty won. And I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that
No,
either.
I don't. I thought she was okay. I didn't hate it.
Okay, but now that I'm looking at everybody, so the first round we had Queen Kong, Gala, Kitty Scott Claus, and Nelania. Out of those, I do think that Kitty was probably
I thought
the better.
Nelania was funny too, though.
Oh, as Valentino with the...
When she said, it's me, Valentino. I was dying right off the bat. And she looked so much like him.
did. And then when
so
she
I
did
don't know,
her-
between those two. I felt like Queen Kong had the strongest idea, though, of all four. I think if she really had committed to it, it could have been the best.
Yeah.
I do. I loved the idea. That was so funny.
Also,
King Schlong.
to say your name's King Schlong, but not have a schlong.
Right. Missed opportunity.
Like, even if it wasn't a
Could have just been a big banana.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, that would have been funny.
Hilarious. Like a loincloth over a big banana, and then she pulls the banana out and starts eating it. I mean, there was just so many things she could have done with that character, which is why I was like, it was good. It was safe, but the idea itself was great.
Yeah. Then the second group, we had Vanity Vane as Lorene, Alyssa Edwards, Annie Oakley, Tessa Testicle, Suzanne Barsh, and Pythia Zeus. And Alyssa won that version.
With her partner. But I would say between all of those, I thought Alyssa and Pythia were the strongest. Pythia? Am I saying it wrong? No, I'm all
They
paranoid.
say it both ways.
Okay.
So
now I'm all paranoid.
Pythia and Pythia.
I mean, look, and were they right in saying that Alyssa Edwards was playing Annie Oakley playing Alyssa Edwards? They were. They were right in that. There's my critique, okay? But it was funny. Yeah. It had me laughing and just like watching her coming up with like ways
bang references.
Just all the things like say country stuff. It had me tickled. I liked it.
Yeah, and I think too.
Also seeing her with no lipstick on, just really, I thought that was funny.
Did she not have lipstick? Wait. Oh no,
it was like so nude if she did. I was like, what? And what choice was that? I guess she thought like, well, Annie Oakley wouldn't have worn lipstick or something.
Yeah. I will say that I was not blown away by the Snatch game.
No. I don't think we will remember any of these things in the future.
Let's go over the looks.
For Eat Me, right?
What?
For Eat Me. Wasn't that the challenge? Or the runway theme?
Was it Eat Me?
I think it was Eat Me.
Eat Me.
Okay, yeah.
You were
See,
right.
that's what I thought.
See, Laganja is paying attention. And
that's
Joseph
right, honey.
Not.
No more hydrocodone here, honey.
First up, we had Nelania, and she came out as the food was a cassata.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
It's a traditional cake from the Sicily region of Italy.
Yeah.
And it was
I thought she looked beautiful for sure. I wasn't as blown away as everyone else was, but I thought she looked lovely. I liked the headpiece, but to me, the headpiece was really the only part besides the color that referenced the food. Mm-hmm. So I thought some people were more successful in giving us the food, which I think is the challenge, right? Yes. You're supposed to reference the food. So for me, I felt hers was a little underwhelming when it came to referencing the food. But as far as the look goes, I thought she looked very pretty.
I thought the look was great. I think my thing is I wanted to know if the colors were different under the lighting than in what was shown.
Well, I think that teal color was in the cake, if I remember right.
The cake was it looks more of like a green to me.
Sure.
And so what I'm thinking is like the lighting just didn't hit it correctly. And
sure, I can see that.
Miss Tessa Testicle in her Swiss cheese
phenomenal.
Look. That was so cool.
It was amazing. It was so a home run. She looked incredible down to the nails, the details. I even reposted this look on my story because I love cheese. Mm-hmm. I always say cheese is a choice, and I choose yes.
Which cheeses? Are there any cheeses you don't like?
No.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever met a cheese that the stinkier the better. I mean, I love it all. I used to think I didn't like goat cheese, but now I do.
I'm good with goat cheese. I'm not good with feta. I hate.
See,
feta.
I love feta. That's one of my favorite cheeses.
I think feta tastes like if I were to eat something on somebody's toe.
My best friend hates it too, but I love feta. It's so good in Greek food and.
I'd rather switch the feta for goat.
See, I disagree, but I hear you. Hey, whatever cheese floats your boat, sweetie.
Cheese. Next up, Galavera is ice cream and chocolate.
Didn't get it, but I loved the look.
I did love the look. I think that if she would have said she was cotton candy, I would have believed it more.
But it's I thought it was supposed to represent the food from your culture. So again, chocolate and candy, to me, I don't think of that as Mexican culture. Now, if she'd been like those Mexican cookies that I don't love, that are very dry, that have the sprinkles on them, I think that would have been cool. I definitely think there's a lot of Mexican desserts, flan.
Oh my gosh.
There are things she could have referenced that I think would have been more traditional to her place where she's from. But I also wondered again, was it one of these challenges where they were they didn't really tell them specifically
they just said food
item and not to be, defined by your culture. So I don't know. I thought it was a little lacking in that arena, but I mean, come on, she took it all off and had pasties and I loved it.
Yeah.
So hot. She's so hot. Boy, girl, whatever. I think she's hot.
I'm just waiting for, you guys to link up.
I'm ready to kai. That's about, there are very few sisters of mine that I would kai with, but yeah, could get it.
What did you think of Kitty Scott Claus's English breakfast look?
I thought it was really well done. I do. For me, safe, but I love it. I thought it looked great on her. I loved the ketchup coming out of the headpiece. Mm-hmm. I loved the use of rhinestones. I loved the ostrich feathers in the back. I think this is one of her strongest looks that she's presented. You didn't? You didn't love it?
I thought it was very Katy Perry.
Yeah.
I think that my one critique, I really wasn't a fan of the headpiece part.
Interesting.
I think that the blue to me doesn't stimulated breakfast item, and I think that, or a food item, and I think that her outfit was
the
more
blue.
Yeah, what was it supposed to be?
I thought it was like a picnic blanket vibe.
Yeah, but that's not the food. So I think that her outfit was great, but I think that there was a lot more focus on the elements of a picnic as opposed to the elements of food, which might be exactly what you said. Like maybe there's a different prompt, but like if we look, like what do we have? We have egg yolks, egg, and sausage.
Sausage is
so then the rest of the look to me, while it was very showgirlsy and very like cute.
Point. That's a good point.
I think that was it. But
yeah,
I liked it. I think she looked great in it. And I think what I've come to learn about Kitty, a lot of people think that her drag is very basic. They think that her drag is very, you know, not what they're wanting. But I will say this is Kitty's style. I think
absolutely.
Kitty,
like I said, I think this is one of her strongest looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Bethia in a spanakopita.
This was my favorite. I was blown away. Blown away. This is honestly why I thought she should have won the episode.
Yes.
Not for the snatch, but for the snatch and this in combination, because to me, this was the best example of taking your food and using it as inspiration and creating couture. It was perfect. She got the crispiness of the crust. She got the green spinach. I mean, I loved it. I thought this was a home run.
So I saw this look in the preview for like what was to come for this week, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I like that. Like there was something about like the color mix, and then once I learned about the food and the prompt, I was like, now this is thinking so out of the box.
It's beautiful, and the execution, the way the ripples are done,
it just looks like flakes.
It's gorgeous. I know, I want to eat it.
I loved her when she was on Canada's Drag Race, and I think that the elevation that Bethia has had has been amazing, and I'm glad that Rue's seeing it too.
Yeah.
I think it's cool when like Rue can see a girl that's maybe better than, you know, some of the other franchises they host.
Sure.
Because I think it's like, oh, this is from another franchise and this girl did this. Like I've never seen this. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Next up, we had Queen Kong in Pavlavo. Is that how you say it?
You have to show me this one for sure. I don't remember this one. So that's not a good sign.
Pavlavo. It's like a meringue. So this is basically like a berry meringue, and this was her look.
Oh, right. I didn't love this. I love the headpiece though.
I did love the headpiece.
The headpiece was nailing the prompt of the challenge. I just wish the headpiece had been a back piece. I wish we would have gotten rid of the pants. And I just didn't love the whole little Bo Peep spin on it.
I thought she was about to come and tell me a nursery story.
Right. I didn't love that. And if you're going to go for that, then like I need the little cane and I need you to like fully go for it. So this one was safe for me. Safe.
Vanity Vane as rotten fish.
Loved it. Loved it. I thought this was so cool. I loved even the detail of like, it had like rhinestone strings hanging from the fish, which I assumed it was supposed to be like water, like glistening of the fish. But yeah, I thought this was great. And again, is she in the bottom this week?
She was in the bottom this week.
I didn't think she was the worst.
She wasn't.
I don't know. I didn't think her snatch was the worst. And then I thought this was a solid look. So I was kind of a little bit like, huh. But yeah, I liked the look a lot. Yeah. And I like that she didn't choose what everyone thought she would choose, which was Swedish meatballs. And I love that she came out instead as Swedish fish. I thought that was brilliant. Kind of cool. It was brilliant.
And last but not least, we had your mother, Miss Alyssa Edwards.
Which again, the internet was up in arms about this look. And honestly, I really love the look. The only critique I have...
Can we say it at the same time? I want to know if your critique's going to match my critique.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
The dress.
Hips. So it's the bottom half we're talking about, right? Yeah. Exactly. So I think she had this sort of like peplum vibration on the outfit, which was good because that was giving her the hips. But then this little skirt, I just felt it was a little too flat. So this is what I wish she would have done. I wish she would have done like one of those Victorian cages. You know how you wear those like underneath the dress to give it. I wish it would have been an exposed version of that. And then like where the parts connected, she had like cherries. And then there could have been like icing dripping off the cage. So it would have given her, I think, a better silhouette. And it just would have added more to the look. But I mean, if you zoomed in, her shoes were even cakes. I mean, she went for it. Now, do I think this is classic American dessert? Ice cream? I guess, right? Like, what do you think of when you think of American dessert? A sundae?
But it's not just dessert, right? It's like food.
Oh, true. It's food. Well, I don't know. Burgers? Like, what's our American? We don't really have anything. All we do is steal from everyone else and call it ours. So, I don't know. I just think overall, it was a great look, and everyone is just trying to find ways to read her. So, Yes, y'all. She has a man's body. She works out every single day and she is a dancer, and get over it. She owns that she's a man. Not everyone is going to be serving women. I mean, it's just so interesting to me. It's like they pick and choose. It's like, I don't know. I just don't like it when the internet be coming from my mama.
Yeah, I can tell. Did you have, when you were a child, Alyssa's outfit, the ice cream reminds me, I used to have these ice cream crayons. So it was like, you had like the cone, and then the scoops of ice cream were color, so you could like color with them.
I can tell you right now, I was never wasting my ice cream. So no, I was not coloring with ice cream. I was eating it.
You would have ate the crayon?
Oh, it was a crayon that looked like ice cream. Yes. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying it was a ice cream cone that you were going to use it. I'm like, I'm not wasting no ice cream.
No.
But no, I did not have those, clearly.
This look, I will say, was not my favorite. Okay. And the reasoning behind it is predominantly, anytime I see a wig like this, I'm not a fan.
It's too Australian for you.
I get it, and I understand.
It's very Queen of the Desert, right?
I get it, I understand.
And it was fully rhinestone, mama. I know. And it had a part that came off and attached. Come on, it was so well done. It's just not your aesthetic.
Yeah, it's not my aesthetic.
That's fine.
And I think that there's some things like...
It's not my aesthetic either, but I know she loves it. So now when I see it, I think of her and I love it.
So like anybody could come out in the most amazing thing in the world, but if it's not your
aesthetic, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's kind of like how Rue hates what are those wigs? Little baby wigs,
pussycat wigs, and Michelle hates green. Yeah,
there's some things.
And I hate people coming for Alyssa. There it is. We all have something.
And I just come for Queen Kong. There you go. Well, we had our bottom two as Galavera and Vanity Vane.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if I agree with this bottom two.
Who would we have put in the bottom if it wasn't her? Who else was worse than her?
Tessa's snatch game wasn't the best.
Tessa's was horrible. Her snatch game was way worse than Vanity to me.
I agree with that.
It wasn't funny, this thing, but she said she got a couple laughs. So maybe there were things that we didn't see that were funny. But yeah, I thought her snatch game was a bomb. It's just her runway was so good.
Yeah. If I had to switch, I probably would have switched
Vanity for Tessa. I agree.
But I do think that Gala's snatch game was the worst. But let me just tell you, when people's snatch games are bad, they're my favorite. I just love when their answers will be like, "What's 2 + 2?" And I'll be like, "A lemon meringue pie." And I'm like, what is going on? Like, it's just so comical to me.
I actually didn't get that joke. Wasn't that Valentino's joke he kept saying over and over?
Oh, he kept saying, a margarita pizza?
Right. I don't get that.
Oh, it's because the last episode, Rue was going through the walkthrough and he told Nelania, he was like, I would love, like, what's a phrase from, like, you know, where you're from? Like, what would you say? What can I say? Then Kitty was like, you should just say margarita pizza. And then so she was like, a margarita pizza. And
so it was a joke that was carried over. Like, got it.
Yeah. So they lip synced to the most chaotic song
I loved it
in the world.
I honestly loved it. I thought it was so fun and so different and fresh, and I was interested to see how they would interpret it. So I loved it.
I thought Vanity Vane killed it with her expressions.
I did too.
I was like, where has this been, girl? You have been so in your head that I'm so glad you had this moment, because I feel like you came out.
It was like that one song that Jinx and I think Detox did. Right. I love it.
Yeah.
Give us something different, please.
I would even like if they went back in time and then pulled out like crazy fights on like season 3 or 4 or 5. You know what I mean? And made them do like
they never do Drag Race music. I've always said, like, I wish someone would do my song Legs. Yes. I think that would be fun. But yeah, no, I thought the switch up in this lip sync made it great and made it interesting.
And Galavera went home, and
I was sad about that. I'm not going to lie.
I was.
I agree. She was the weakest this episode. Her lip sync wasn't as good, but I just loved her so much. And I have a crush on him, so I wanted him to stay. But I follow him now, so I will continue to watch from afar.
Watch it all. Well, before we close out, because we do have time.
Okay.
People loved when we read these comments.
Okay, let's read them.
We should read some more comments?
Sure.
I think we should see what.
I mean, we have been talking about the comments all episode, but let's give them the full props to the mama.
We need to go into what the tea actually
is. No one emailing us questions anymore?
We keep forgetting to say it.
Oh, well, you guys, don't forget, you can email us at laganjoes@gmail.com. That's LAGANJOES@gmail.com. Ask us questions. Give us your concerns, your comments. We want to hear from each and every one of you, and not just in the comment section where y'all love to throw shade. But, you know, we know there are some of you who want to like really ask us things, and we love doing that. So please give us an email, laganjoes@gmail.com.
laganjoes@gmail.com. Let's go into this last episode. Yes. Not Nelania's clock look. She was a violin.
Well, we were dumb for that.
I was dumb for that.
Oh, you said that? Well, I went with it. And it was giving clock-ish vibes.
She reminded me of the guy from Beauty and the Beast who had the mustache, because she also had a mustache.
I see it.
Not Joseph calling Gala Gallo every time. Sorry.
Right.
Laganja, if you need a pick-me-up, feel-good drag race franchise, I 1000% recommend Drag Race Philippines. If you're going to watch any of the other franchises, Philippines is that girl. The newest season is airing right now, and the girls are bringing it. The family values / chosen family values are so strong, and it's so emotional in the best way.
Yeah, I definitely saw this comment and thought, well, I'm not really looking for another franchise to watch. But if there was one, I would do the Philippines, because they are amazing. I mean, I've been to the O Bar in Manila, and it's like the queens are literally swinging from the ceiling. It's not even a joke. So yeah, I know Philippines knows how to put it down, but I will be honest, if I was going to start watching another franchise, I'm going to have to go with my Thai girls. You know, she's Thailand at heart. That's where we're going to do the big body reveal tour. So, you know, if and when I was to ever start another franchise, that's who I would probably start with, but that's not going to happen. So sorry. I could barely keep up with this one, as y'all point out ever so often. So
I love that y'all don't dance around your opinions. Right. I feel like some other creators are not here to tell us what they think.
Period.
And I agree with that. I think that, like
I think we both try to be honest.
Yeah. I think that, yeah, sometimes we could be a little harsh.
Nice or harsh, depending on.
But it's what our opinions are. And it's not discrediting the value of drag or these artists and what they're doing. It's giving an opinion. It's like if you see a movie in the movie theaters and you are not a fan of X movie, it's like, that's okay. Everybody has different tastes.
Of course. Or different aesthetics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like how I don't like said wig or whatever.
Right.
My favorite part of the video is Joseph's legs.
Yes, legs overhead like a pretzel.
Yes, I've never been able to do that.
That's okay, me either.
Okay,
I got it pretty close.
Yeah,
but I like lock both my legs behind my head like a pretzel. No, that's crazy.
When I was 13, 14ish, you know, you wanted to try things, and so I would like go against the back of a wall and like try to walk my feet down so I could like.
Try to suck it. Yeah, I was about to say, I think I know where this is going, and we all tried. We all tried that, sweetie. It's just a normal thing. When you have a PP, you're going to have to try to suck it at one point or another. I mean, it's true. Dennis, any comments? Any questions? See? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. It's just a natural thing we do.
It is true.
Yeah.
So glad you guys are back. Kudos for Laganja for going through this tough process with such a great attitude. I'm dying at Joseph in the comments apologizing for his phonetics. We feel you, King. Don't feel too bad about it.
Yes. See, we like these people. These people get us.
I've been listening to an international politics podcast for years at this point, and the host still always messes up when he needs to pronounce the Chinese prime minister's name, like every single week for the past 6 years. So it could be worse.
That's a great comment. Thank you. We see you and you see us.
Can someone please tell us what words Ganja's referring to when she says H and P word?
Right. So hurt and pain, in case you missed that earlier in today's episode.
The dress that Vanity Vane made last week in an hour, Vanity's dress was green, so Laganja was interested.
Period. Yes, God.
Does Miss Laganja have a virtual tip jar?
I do. I answered this question too. You can Venmo me at Laganja Estranja, or you can PayPal me at laganjaestranja@gmail.com. I will gladly accept your money. Thank you. I also now have a subscription on Instagram for only $5 a month. If you really want to see the behind the scenes of the things I'm going through, I mean, they saw the titties and the boobs before anyone, like a long time ago. And then I got in trouble for it. And then Instagram put me in jail, and it's just been a whole fucking thing. But subscribe, $5 on my Instagram.
Put Laganja in jail.
No! Hateful.
A great way to reaffirm our thoughts on episode 5. Glad that we could do that. Sending healing and positive vibes to Laganja during her recovery. May it be a swift and smooth process.
Yes.
Also sending love from OK, which I'm guessing is Oklahoma. LOL, had to add, excited for Joseph being on Very Delta. Yes, I'm very excited.
Yes, we can't wait.
Laganja has such unbelievable work ethic. We appreciate you doing the podcast so much.
Thank you. I'm glad you see how hard I work. I appreciate that.
This look is kind of fierce, though. And then somebody's responded, a compression face kini.
Well, that's why I came in full compression regalia. I do feel like, can we go to the wide, Dennis? Look at the doll. She needs to give you the wide shot, honey. Look at the cake. There's no padding here. This is all Mama Ganja. And there, I am wearing a foam pad right here. So I'm actually much skinnier than what you're seeing, but look at the boobies. I mean, girl, Mama is snatched. Y'all can't take the doll. Y'all can't take the doll.
Does anyone find Joseph's mispronunciation of international queens kind of endearing? No, just me. You can tell I have a gringo boyfriend.
Not the gringo boyfriend.
I like this internationally flavored franchise showcasing the drag artists and cultures of different countries. Cheers. If Laganja doesn't care about the show or any other girl apart from Alyssa, she shouldn't be doing any review.
Right, and that's the person I say, why are you watching our show?
Well, somebody commented and said, or maybe you shouldn't be watching this review.
Period.
Since she said it from the beginning.
I love it. Okay, see, exactly. I did definitely disclaim it, so I'm sorry if it bothers you, but also sorry, not sorry.
Laganja would make a beautiful and amazing equestrian or even a polo sports player. I know she's wearing a medical wrap, but the shirt, the hat, the ponytails read Ralph Lauren, fierce realness. Slay while healing, queen.
LOL. I would definitely love to model for Ralph Lauren, but absolutely have zero interest in playing that very white sport with all those white people. Yuck. No, thank you. Like when I think of the country derby and all that, ugh, it just seems like Trumpers. Not interested. Nope. Not wearing a big hat. Not sitting up with those white women. Nope.
No.
Nope.
All right. And the last one we're going to do for today, we have I enjoy Laganja showing her love towards Alyssa unabashedly, but to say what she really thinks wouldn't hurt, I think.
Ooh.
We know she's biased. We get it. But what is really the point then? It may be a bigger gesture to critique what Ganja thinks Mother can improve and help her grow even more. In my opinion, love isn't just saying nice things or what the loved ones want us to hear. Just a thought. Best wishes for both. Have a speedy recovery and lots of pampering.
Yeah, no, real love is saying nice things about your mother on camera. Don't worry, we have real talks all the time. I've helped her grow in many aspects of her life, but when it comes to drag, we have different aesthetics, Mother and I. And so I celebrate hers, she celebrates mine, and there is peace amongst family. And that is ultimately what we're all really looking for. So stay in your lane, queen. That's what I have to say to that person.
Well, on that note, this has been
Queening Out.
I'm
See you
Joseph
next
Shepard.
week. I'm Laganja and we love you.
Mwah.
Bye.